We often think of community as this magical thing that either happens or it doesn't. But what if that's not true? What if we could actually design it right into the blueprints of our neighborhoods? Well, today we're diving into an architectural idea that does exactly that. It's called the cottage court, and it's a really powerful way to engineer human connection. But first, let's talk about the problem this whole idea is trying to solve. Just think about the daily grind of a car-dependent life for a second. That trip back to the store for that one thing you forgot, the constant hunt for a parking spot. As this quote puts it, it's a slow, steady drain. This isn't just about traffic. It's a system that quietly wears us down and keeps us apart. And this is what that looks like in the real world. These huge, impersonal landscapes built for cars, not for people. We go from our private garage to our private car to our work and back again, and we barely see another soul. The very design of our world is what creates that distance. Yeah, you could actually call it the architecture of isolation. And it's so important to realize this isn't some accident. For decades, building this way, with big lots, big roads, and big distances, has been the default. It's separation by design. So this all leads to a really big question, right? What if the loneliness so many people feel isn't some kind of personal failure? What if it's actually an architectural problem? What if the blueprint itself is the issue? But here's the good news. If we can design for isolation, we can absolutely design for connection. And that brings us to this powerful idea, an antidote by design. This is exactly where the cottage court comes into play. So, what is a cottage court? It's actually a beautifully simple concept. Instead of just lining up houses along a street facing the traffic, you take a small cluster of homes and you arrange them all around a shared green space, like a courtyard. It's a tiny shift in layout, but it has these massive social consequences. And you can see the magic ingredient right here in this diagram. Every single home, every porch, every front door faces inward toward that shared space. This isn't just about making things look nice. This simple reorientation is the key. It's what creates a space that actively fights back against loneliness. This simple choice is the foundation for our main idea today, and it's a fantastic term: engineering social friction. Now, I know social friction might sound like a bad thing, but stick with me. It's actually the secret ingredient that makes these places so special. So what do we mean by positive social friction? Well, think about all those little, unplanned everyday moments. It's saying hi when you grab your mail. It's watching your neighbor's kids play in the courtyard. It's that quick chat on the way to your car. These aren't big, scheduled parties. They're just the gentle daily run-ins that, over time, build real, actual relationships. And make no mistake, this strategy is incredibly deliberate. It really boils down to three ideas that all work together. First, you have the layout itself, clustering the homes. That layout creates the positive friction we've been talking about. And that, in turn, creates a natural sense of safety. They all build on each other. So how do you actually engineer this? Well, the architect basically becomes a social engineer. Step 1, you cluster the homes around that green heart. Step 2, you turn all the front doors and the porches so they face that center space. And step 3, and this is key, you design the walkways so people can't help but cross paths. Interaction becomes totally inevitable. I mean, think about what that does. All those barriers we're used to, the fences, the long driveways, they're just gone. And suddenly, everyone is sharing the same front yard. That green space basically becomes a giant outdoor community living room, a place where conversations can just spark up naturally. And one of the most powerful results of this is safety. When you have every front door and every living room window facing that shared space, you get what city planners call eyes on the courtyard. The space basically polices itself. Neighbors are naturally looking out for each other and for each other's kids. It just creates this amazing bubble of security. Okay, so you've engineered the space to create all this positive friction. What happens next? What kind of community actually follows? This is where all that architectural theory turns into real-world benefits for real people. Well, the outcomes are pretty incredible. This model is a direct attack on the loneliness epidemic. It helps seniors age in place. They can stay independent without being isolated. It creates that safe zone where kids can just run out and play. And because these smaller homes attract all kinds of people, you end up with a really diverse mix of residents. It truly reconnects us to the lost art of just knowing your neighbors. And this is what that rich social fabric actually looks like. You don't get a neighborhood where everyone is the exact same age or income level. Instead, you create the perfect conditions for a vibrant, mixed community where young people, families, and retirees are all living together and supporting one another. And get this isn't just a feel-good story. It has real, practical benefits. One study actually found that these kinds of walkable, connected neighborhoods generate a stunning 33% less car travel than your typical suburb. That's better for us and way better for the planet. So, we want to leave you with this one last thought. We put so much energy into creating special programs to fight loneliness and build community, but what if the most powerful tool we have isn't a program at all? What if the cure is actually a blueprint just waiting for us to build it?